Hello students, welcome to our geography session. Welcome to the sixth part of the chapter 3, that is physiography and drainage. Today we shall discuss about the drainage systems of India and Brazil. The term drainage describes the river system of an area. So, without any further ado, let's continue with the drainage system of India. The drainage system of India, that is the rivers, is divided into two major groups. They are the Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers. Himalayan rivers are those which originate in the Himalayas and flow through the northern plains. Most of the Himalayan rivers are perennial in nature. Perennial, that is, they have water throughout the year. So most of the Himalayan rivers are perennial in nature because during monsoon season, the Himalayan rivers are fed by rains. And during summers, the snow melts and the rivers get continuous supply of water. Thus, they have water in them throughout the year. So, throughout the year, water sources remain available in the Himalayan region for providing water to the various rivers. Thus, they are perennial in nature. The three major Himalayan rivers are the Indus River system, the Ganga River system, and the Brahmaputra River system. Here we can see Indus River system, Ganga River system, and the Brahmaputra River system. Let's learn about them in detail. Indus River. Indus River is one of the longest river in Asia. Ancient civilizations like the one at Harappa and Mohenjo-daro grew up in Indus Valley. This river rises near Mansarovar in Tibet and flows through India and Pakistan before emptying in the Arabian Sea. Its important tributaries flowing in Indian territory are the Satluj, Beas, Ravi, Chenab and Jhelum. River Satluj is the largest tributary of river Indus. Another important river system of the Himalayan mountains is the river Ganga. It is the longest and most important river of India. Ganga river is the most sacred river to Hindus. River Ganga originates from Gangotri glaciers at Gomukh. The headwater of Ganga is known as Bhagirathi. This river is later joined by river Alaknanda at Devprayag. And this combined flow is called as river Ganga. It flows through the states of Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. Yamuna, Ramganga, Ghagra, Gandak and Kosi are the important tributaries of river Ganga. Yamuna is the second largest tributary of Ganga. River Yamuna originates at Yamunotri and joins Ganga at Allahabad. Besides these Himalayan rivers, Ganga receives a number of tributaries from peninsula like Chambal, Betwa, Son and Damodar. Brahmaputra river system. River Brahmaputra is one of the major rivers of Asia which flows through China, India and Bangladesh. River Brahmaputra rises in Tibet. After traveling a long distance, it enters Arunachal Pradesh in India. When it flows through the Himalayas, it is called Sanko. When it crosses the Himalayas, it is called Dihang. And its eastward flow thereafter is known as Brahmaputra. The Subansiri River is the principal tributary of Brahmaputra in India. It passes through Assam and then enters Bangladesh before meeting the Bay of Bengal. River Brahmaputra is the lifeline of Assam. The next is peninsular rivers. The peninsular drainage system is older than the Himalayan rivers. They are broadly classified into east flowing rivers meeting the Bay of Bengal and west flowing rivers meeting the Arabian Sea. The Western Ghats running close to the western coast act as a water divide between the west flowing rivers meeting the Arabian Sea and the east flowing rivers meeting the Bay of Bengal. So, Western Ghats act as a water divide between the west flowing rivers and east flowing rivers. Rivers like Narmada and Tapi drains in Arabian Sea. And other rivers like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri drain in Bay of Bengal. Thus, the Western Ghats form a major water divide in the peninsula. As we have discussed earlier, the peninsular drainage pattern is divided into west flowing rivers meeting the Arabian Sea and east flowing rivers meeting the Bay of Bengal. The west flowing rivers like Narmada and Tapi, they drain into Arabian Sea. And rivers like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri drain into Bay of Bengal. Let's learn about them in detail. Narmada River Basin. River Narmada is the longest westward flowing river of India. River Narmada rises from Amarkantak Plateau in the Maikal Range. This river lies between two mountain ranges. They are the Vindhya Range and Satpura Range. So, it flows through the Rift Valley of Vindhya and Satpura Ranges. It flows through the states of Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Gujarat. This river is known as the lifeline of Madhya Pradesh. The Tapi River system. The Tapi River rises in the Satpura Ranges in the Betol district of Madhya Pradesh. It flows westward for about 725 kilometers in a rift valley parallel to the Narmada River. The Tapi River finally meets with the Arabian Sea. The Tapi Basin covers parts of Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat and Maharashtra. Mahanadi River Basin. River Mahanadi originates in the Dandakaranya Range in Raipur district of Chhattisgarh. This river covers the states of Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand and Odisha. The tributaries of Mahanadi are Somnath, Hasdo, Man, Ong, Tel River and Jong River. This river drains in Bay of Bengal flowing through Orissa. The Godavari River Basin. River Godavari is the second largest peninsular river system of India. This river originates in the Trimbakeshwar Plateau near Nasik in Maharashtra. The major tributaries of Godavari are Manjira and Indravati. Besides that, other tributaries are Paravara, Purma, Pranhanita, Sabri. Originating in the Western Ghats, it flows eastward across the Deccan Plateau between the states of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and finally drains into Bay of Bengal. As you have seen, it covers a very large area and has a huge length. For this reason, this river is also known as Dakshin Ganga or Gautami. The Krishna River Basin. River Krishna originates from a spring near Mahabaleshwar in the Western Ghats. The important tributaries of Krishna are Tungabhadra, Koyna and Musi. Besides that, other tributaries are Bhima, Malprabha, Paleru, Muneru, etc. Flowing through Maharashtra and Karnataka, it finally enters Andhra Pradesh and drains into Bay of Bengal. The next river basin is the Kaveri River Basin. This river originates in the Brahmagiri range of the Western Ghats. The tributaries of the Kaveri River are Himavati, Swarnavati, Bhavani, Amravati, Kabini, etc. It flows through the states of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. And finally, it drains into Bay of Bengal. It is one of the major rivers of the peninsula. It is a river that has been harnessed for irrigation since a long time. The Luni River. The Luni River is also referred as the Lavnagiri, which means salt river in Sanskrit. River Luni is the main river in the Rajasthan desert. It originates along the western slopes of Aravalli range and flows in somewhat northwest to southeast direction and flows into Gulf of Kutch. It's time to see the difference between the Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers. As we have seen that Himalayan rivers originates from the glaciers, whereas the peninsular rivers originates from plateaus. The catchment area of Himalayan rivers is very large. The catchment area of peninsular rivers is very small. Himalayan rivers are engaged in high erosion activity, whereas if we talk about peninsular rivers, they are engaged in low erosion activity. Himalayan rivers are useful in irrigation and peninsular rivers are not very useful in irrigation. Some rivers are useful in irrigation but not very useful in irrigation. As we have seen that Himalayan rivers are perennial, whereas the peninsular rivers are non-perennial, they are seasonal in nature. They are fed by rain during rainy season. The example of Himalayan rivers are I, G, B, that is Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. And the example of peninsular rivers are, we all know, Narmada, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, we can say M, G, K, square, that is Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Narmada, Tapi, etc. After learning the drainage patterns of India, it's time to learn the drainage systems of Brazil. As far as the drainage in Brazil is concerned, there are three major river basins. They are Amazon Basin, Paraguay-Parana system, and the São Francisco River. Apart from this, there are some coastal rivers also. Now we are going to talk about the largest river in the world. Yes, it's Amazon River. Can you see here, children? This is Amazon River and it is the largest river in the world. It is located in the northern part of Brazil. You can see here that it is located in the northern part of Brazil. This river do not originate in Brazil. It originates from the eastern slopes of Andes Mountains in Peru. Here you can see Negro River, Japura River, Purus River. Then here we have Jingu River. All these are the main tributaries of Amazon River. At its mouth, the width of the Amazon River is nearly 150 kilometers. Imagine you are at the one bank of Amazon River and the opposite bank is 150 kilometers away. The opposite bank is 150 kilometers away. So this is really a huge river. Amazon River carries 2 lakh cubic meter of water per second. Because of this, this river receives a huge discharge of water. Due to this huge discharge, the sediments brought by Amazon River and its tributaries do not get deposited at its mouth. In fact, islands are formed near its mouth. Here can you see Marazo Island is the largest coastal island. Amazon Basin is covered by dense forest. Here you can see that it is covered by dense forest and is prone to frequent flood, making it inhabitable. The course of the Amazon River is suitable for navigation. This river is used for navigation. Another important drainage pattern of Brazil is the São Francisco River. São Francisco is the third important river of Brazil. The entire basin of São Francisco River lies with Brazil. It means this river originates in Brazil and it merges into Atlantic Ocean. So it drains into Atlantic Ocean. So this river completely lies within Brazil. It occupies the eastern portion of the highlands. It means it originates from the eastern slopes of the Brazilian highland. Here we have Brazilian highlands. So it originates from the eastern slopes of Brazilian highlands. It flows towards the north for a distance of 1000 kilometers and takes a sharp eastward turn to enter the coastal strip along the Atlantic Ocean. Even in India, Brahmaputra River takes a eastward turn to enter into Arunachal Pradesh. The downstream of São Francisco is used for navigation for nearly a distance of about 250 kilometers. The next is Paraguay-Parana source system. Paraguay is here, Parana is here. So Paraguay-Parana means two rivers. These two rivers are located in the southwestern part of Brazil. So here you can see this is located in the southern part and this is western part. So these two rivers are located in the southwestern part of Brazil and meet River Plata in Argentina. Here we have Argentina. So these two rivers meet River Plata in Argentina. These rivers receive their headwaters from the southern slope of Brazilian highlands. As we have discussed earlier, apart from three major river basins of Brazil, Coastal rivers are also a part of drainage systems of Brazil. The coastal rivers are of short length. There are many small and very swift rivers in Brazil around the coastline. Yes, there are many small and swift rivers around the coastline. These rivers have their origin in the Great Escarpment. The coastal areas of Brazil is densely populated, and it is densely populated because of these rivers. Therefore, these rivers are of great importance. With this, we completed our chapter. Now, it's time for a quick recap.